just want to say a few words. His birth is an amazing milestone, of course, for the Tom family, for the whole family, for Yitzhak and Megina, and for the entire community, welcoming little Yakov, and Yitzhak and Abraham into the fold. And just want to say a quick bracha. We find in this week's parsha that when Moshe was confronted by Korach, an amazing thing happens. Moshe hears and he falls on his face. He basically collapses. And the simple explanation is he's in distress because he's being attacked by the people. If you look at Rashi, it says totally different. Rashi says that Moshe collapsed on his face because he was in pain, because what would happen to the people? This is already so many times they're complaining, and these complainers have fallen once again. He collapsed in his agony over the fate of the people that were attacking him. Nothing about himself, just about other people. Concerned about the welfare of the ones that were picking a fight with him. And that's why he collapsed. This amazing sensitivity and care for Klal Yisrael that Moshe displayed. My bracha to this baby Yakov is that he displayed, much like his parents and his entire family, such concern and sensitivity for the Jewish people. And that his goal in life is to spread Torah, is to be an example, and to just bestow chesed, kindness and goodness and sensitivity to the entire Klal Yisrael, to all the Jewish people. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. I would introduce the father, none other than Yitzhak, to say a few words.
So first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out, and especially my in-laws, Devorah and John, and also Megina's brother, Moshe, for coming all the way out just for today, for the mitzvah. And definitely want to thank my wife for having a baby. And not only that, having a boy, and having it naturally, so we can have an opinion of Ed. It's a great mitzvah. It's one of those rare things that not everyone gets to experience, so thank you so much for giving me that mitzvah. So those of you who are paying attention may have noticed that the funny little coincidence of the name Yakov ben Yitzhak ben Abraham. Obviously it's names of our forefathers. Of course, this is not any true coincidence, but actually rather very purposeful. Names are very powerful things in Judaism. For example, when a person's health is threatened, God forbid, we give that person an additional name, such as Chaim, meaning life, so that we can change that person's mazel. So it's with great purpose that we decided to name our child Yakov. Each person's soul is directly connected to their Hebrew name. That's why it's said that parents have Ruach Kodesh, a certain level of prophecy, when naming their children. A Hebrew name can literally define a person to the root of their soul. In addition, when a person is called by the full Hebrew name, their soul gets ignited by the power of that name. That's why we chose to go with one name, so that he should always be called by his full Hebrew name, Yakov. So why Yakov specifically? Let's answer that. I have to give some background on the rest of our avos, our forefathers. Each of our forefathers served God through different character traits. Avraham served through chesed, kindness. Yitzchak served through gevurah, strength, dedication, din, judgment. And Yaakov served through emes, truth. Chesed in its purest form is the attribute of unlimited giving, which sounds wonderful, but can actually be quite harmful. For example, Abraham's son Yishmael practiced chesed with no limits by being promiscuous. Gevurah, strength, limits the trait of chesed and gives it solid boundaries. But again, Esav, Yitzchak's son, practiced gevurah without chesed. He was a murderer. Finally, emes is the ability to act with complete balance between chesed and gevurah. Unlike Avraham and Yitzchak, all 12 of Yaakov's sons were worthy of being tribes of Hashem. Perhaps this is why Yakov is known as an Ish Tam. Ish Tam. Anyway, Onkelos interprets the word Tam as Shalem, or whole. Yakov was an ish, a man who was tam, whole, in his personality and his character traits. He represents the perfection of Abraham's chesed and Yitzchak's gevurah, which leads to the significance of our little Yaakov's name. My wife, God bless her, is a very chesedic person. When she sees that someone has a need, she rushes to help. That's why she started a Shea in this community, and that's why she's a social worker by profession. In fact, this is also reflected in her name, Magina, Magina, which is a feminine of Magin, shield. She was born to be a protector, a provider of loving kindness. And at the same time, because she is constantly giving from herself, she can become overwhelmed, a negative side effect of uncontrolled chesed. Meanwhile, my personality is also very much aligned to the traits associated with the name Yitzchak. I'm concerned about din. What's the halacha? Where are the boundaries? Those of you who know more about me know that I have also gone through my own Akedas Yitzchak to be here today. But again, restriction without a proper balance of chesed can have undesirable results. Yaakov Avinu was a perfection of chesed and gevurah. He was an ish tam, a complete man, and God willing, our son Yakov will walk in the giant footsteps of his namesake. He should be blessed to perfect the traits of his parents and succeed where we fail, and we should all be blessed to see the coming of Mashiach and the base of Mikdash speeding in our times.
Amen. Mazel tov.